Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be looking at Aquaman, King of Atlantis, an animated 3-part miniseries released by DC on HBO Max. James Wan is the executive producer. That name should sound very familiar, as he was the director of 2018's Aquaman movie, as well as its upcoming sequel scheduled for release in 2022. This lends a certain amount of continuity to the cartoon. Though perhaps not actual DC Universe canon, the show is a seamless continuation from the events of the recent movie. Another big name I recognized in the production team is Sam Register. He's been executive producer on a lot of DC's animated greatness, including the Harley Quinn animated series, which is quite literally one of the best shows on television. So that, as well as most of DC's completely awesome animated movies that have come out over the past many years. I completely stumbled upon this show, having seen no prior news or previews about it, so I had no idea who the voice acting cast was. While watching episode 1, one of my initial thoughts was, is that Jason Momoa doing the voice of Aquaman? It sure sounded like him.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. The ocean just stops for miles around.
So when the end credits rolled, I saw it was actually Cooper Andrews. Now, in my head, for some reason, I got that juxtaposed Cooper Andrews with Anderson Cooper. I was like, wow, who knew Anderson could do such a convincing Jason Momoa impersonation? I didn't know he was taking a break from his journalistic career to do voiceover work for cartoons. So off I went to IMDb to clear this up. It turns out it is not Anderson Cooper, nor is it Jason Momoa. Despite this, I was not disappointed when I realized that Cooper Andrews was Jerry from The Walking Dead. That guy's great. I love him. And he'd already dipped his toes into the DC Universe pool, playing the cool foster dad from the Shazam movie. Further awesomeness I discovered, Gillian Jacobs is the voice of Mera. Now, I'm an eternal fan of any and all of the cast of Community. And of late, she's been really tearing it up as a voice actress. Recent credits for her include Rick and Morty, Harley Quinn in the just-released Injustice movie, and as Adam Eve in Invincible. There's, I think, some kind of humorous irony in Britta Perry, whose main character trait was being annoying, shrill, and simply just talking too much. She's now succeeding as a voice actress. And final note, there's also Thomas Lennon, who you hopefully know from his stint on Reno 911 as Lieutenant Dangle, amongst other great comedic career highlights.
And actually, I had to lobby the sheriff's department to get permission to wear these. But my argument was, hey, I'm out there in the streets every day. I got to be able to move like a cheetah, like a law enforcement cheetah.
The animation is a really unique-looking hand-drawn style. I think they took kind of a risk in doing it this way, as it looks really kind of juvenile. This could have had a lot of adults taking a pass on watching the show, erroneously thinking it's made just for kids. You know what, though? I think it kind of works well for this. The animation, it's goofy and silly, which happens to align perfectly with the show's overall comedic tone. I appreciated their rendition of Aquaman, where they mixed elements of his classic as well as his modern-day looks. The portrayal of Aquaman for this show is actually really good. I'd go so far as to say it's better than the movie, and I actually kind of like the movie. The whole high-fiving bro-dude version that Momoa plays has been dropped, going instead for someone who's a little bit more compelling of a character, a little bit less of a caricature. That's right, the cartoon is less of a caricature. He's nervous about his new job as King of Atlantis.
I'm doing a good job as king, right?
What? Oh yeah, I mean, you just started, but you're better than Ocean Master, that's for sure.
He's self-conscious and angry when he hears Atlantean citizens cheering his brother Ocean Master.
Get out of the way! Get off of me, clams! Hey, it's Ocean Master! He stepped on my foot! I can't believe it!
Freaking Ocean Master!
He's just started his relationship with Mera, and he can be very awkward and uncertain about that as well. So, wait, could this goofy animated show have the best portrayal of Aquaman since the DC Comics New 52 run, as written by Jeff Johns? I'll let you, the viewer, decide. Arthur rules a kingdom that spans the 7 seas. It's by far the largest nation on the planet. This massive sandbox environment has a lot of untapped potential for stories and exploration. The Aquaman movie did pretty good with this, with the reveal of the existence of the numerous separate species, tribes, races, and sub-kingdoms that all comprise the Atlantean people. This cartoon gets to build, likewise, more depth and complexity to this world that up until now has been kind of a largely blank canvas. We've already discussed Aquaman's characterization on the show. They also do very good things with the other main cast as well. Mara, she's fun. She's hilarious. They play her as really hyper-aggressive, tending to prefer solving most problems with violence rather than talking. And this makes for a really good contrast and dynamic to the more level-headed Arthur, who is very much more in favor of talking things out.
Whoa there! Let's just all calm down. I'm Aquaman, and...
The heck with that! If these dopes want to fight...
The Ocean Master is played as a complete tool.
Ocean Master. You're the worst.
Definitely a comedic foil rather than any kind of real credible threat to Aquaman and his kingdom. Truthfully, I thought he was kind of played out as a bad guy after the movie, so it's definitely time to explore some new threats and villains. I don't at all mind him being relegated to comedy relief. For Volko, they kept the overall look of Willem Dafoe's costume. He didn't really have too much to do in the first 2 episodes, so hopefully we get more from him in the future.
Stupid throne. Why can't Atlanteans make a chair that's comfortable to sit on?
Atlanteans don't actually sit on their chairs. You're supposed to float an inch above them.
Hey! He's letting his butt touch the throne!
As far as comedy goes, they had some occasional good quips and jokes. For example, they threw in a dig at Marvel's Aquaman equivalent, Prince Namor.
You're like a superhero, right? You can fly us out.
With what, the little wings on my ankles?
And Ocean Master, whenever he was on screen, he was just so over-the-top wacky that I just plain loved every single scene he was in.
You may have the throne, but I have the dumb pointy stick!
Overall, though, I found the show to be more amusing and entertaining rather than outright hilarious, which is fine. I very much like being amused and entertained, and I kept watching because of that. This show sits in that sweet spot where it's entirely suitable for both kids and adults. You can watch it with the whole family. It's not all violent and potty mouthed like the Harley Quinn cartoon, yet isn't as immature as, say, Teen Titans Go. Some adult viewers might find it a bit too juvenile and wacky, if you don't happen to be into that kind of thing. I very much am. I think as far as having a comprehensive lineup that covers a broad range of potential viewers, this show definitely has its place in the DC Universe. Speaking of good for the DC Universe, like the Joker movie, and like the awesome Harley Quinn cartoon, and like their animated movies that they've made over the past many years, I think this kind of thing is exactly what DC has been winning at. DC really shit the bed in trying to copy Marvel's powerhouse formula. They tried to rush the Justice League into existence without laying the proper groundwork with other movies. It's these smaller, more esoteric, a little bit off the wall kind of ideas that they've really been hitting it out of the park with. Sure, they may not be canon, and sure, they might not be building to one unified universe, but that's okay. They need to go with what's working for them and play to their strengths. And that'll do it for the video today, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Let me know if you have any thoughts in the comments section. Please remember to like and subscribe, and peace!